Hey guys, welcome back. Today I want to show you the best combo you can achieve with the new Z Arc stuff. I will also show you a deck list afterwards that you can copy going over the cards card by card. But now I will show you the combo. First we are going to start with our Dragon Shrine here, activating it. Send one Dragon monster from your deck to the graveyard. Then if that monster in your graveyard is a Dragon normal monster, we can send one more Dragon monster from our deck to the graveyard. So we are going to activate this and going to send, because it's a normal Dragon monster, the Odd Eyes Arc Pendulum Dragon. We will need it for our Z Arc boss monster on our opponent's turn, and now we can also send the Supreme King Dragon Dark Worm, which now we can activate the Dark Worm in the grave to be a special summon, activate its effect to a special summon, to add our hand the new card, the Supreme King Gate Magician, which reads Pendulum effect, Supreme King Zark you control cannot be banished by your opponent's card effect. During your main phase you can destroy this card, and if you do, place one Supreme King Gate Pendulum monster from your hand or deck in your Pendulum zone except this one. This is what we are going to do now. Scale this thing, activate this to destroy it. It obviously goes to our extra deck. And now we get a Supreme King Gate 0, which if you control Supreme King, no damage, but once per turn if you have Supreme King Gate Infinity in your other Pendulum zone, you can destroy both cards in your Pendulum zone, add one polymerization to your hand. This is not relevant at this specific point. We are going to activate Wings of Light during the main phase, add one Supreme King Dragon or Supreme King Gate Pendulum monster from your deck to your hand. We are going to add the Dragon Light Worm here. We can now go ahead, because we have a normal summon the Light Worm. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add one face up Supreme King Dragon or Supreme King Gate Pendulum monster from your extra deck to your, in this case, hand. So this is what we are going to do. Going to grab back the Gate Magician here. Now we can activate Gate Magician's monster effect. If you have a Supreme Gate King 0 card in your Pendulum zone, you can send one Pendulum Dragon, XYZ Dragon, Synchro Dragon, or Fusion Dragon from your hand or extra deck to the graveyard. And if you do special summon this card from your hand, and then we can also add, if this card is special summoned, one card that mentions Supreme King Z Arc from deck to hand. So we are going to activate this, send a Starving Venom Fusion Dragon, special summon this, and then add our trap that we will use, the Sword of the Supreme Celestial King, to summon the Arc boss monster with our 4 dragons, one of them being Fusion, one of them being XYZ, one of them being Pendulum, and one of them being Synchro. Next thing we are going to do is take the Dark Worm and also the Gate Magician to the extra deck to summon our Heavy Metal Force Electromite. The base play here, always hold your imperm for this if you're playing against Pendulum. This is the most important point. If this card is linked summoned, we can add one Pendulum monster from our deck to our extra deck face up. We are going to add as you always do, basically Astrograph Sorcerer, and then we can activate the second effect. We can destroy a card and then can add one of the cards from our extra deck to our hand. This is then the Astrograph Sorcerer, which can now activate itself to special summon and then also search. We are searching Supreme King Dragon, a Light Worm here. Next thing we are going to do is we are going to search to set this one. It comes with the extra deck because we destroyed it with the Astrograph Sorcerer. But the next thing we are going to do is make a link 3 into Promethean Princess. We can now activate Princess, revive Electromite, and then Electromite can be actually used once again, because it's not once per turn, the effect to destroy and add one card from our extra deck to the hand. We are once again adding the Astrograph Sorcerer, which can now once again be summoned, and we can once again search a Supreme King Dragon Lightworm. So next thing we are going to do is we link these away for our Astrograph Sorcerer goes to the extra deck face up. For our Exceed the Pendulum, we can now, this is the new card, gains 100 attack for each Pendulum monster you control. You can use each effect of the following only once per turn. If this card is linked summoned, you can add one face up Pendulum monster from your extra deck to your hand, which is we are going to do now to get the third Supreme King Dragon Lightworm here. And then we can also, during the main phase, quick effect, special summon one Pendulum monster from our hand or graveyard in defense position with a level between the pendulum scales of the cards in your Pendulum zone. So we can do it in our turn, but also in our opponent's turn here. We are going to scale one of our Light Worms, and then we are going to Pendulum summon here. We can Pendulum summon everything. So we'll get 5 buddies here, the Astrograph Sorcerer, the Supreme King, and then the 3 dragons. So we have a lot of material to work with now. We are going to overlay the level 8s here into our Absolute Dragon, and then we can link away the Absolute Dragon and one of our Light Worms here for an IP Masquerina. The next thing, they are going, actually they're not going to the extra deck here. This is a mistake. They will be in the graveyard. but it doesn't really matter. We are going to activate the Absolute Dragon now to special summon our Vortex Dragon, which is a monster or spell trap effect negate. Then we can go link into or make a Borrowed Savage Dragon. We can activate the Borrowed, get the Promethean Princess as its counter because we don't have another fire monster to destroy. And now we have 3 negates basically. Next thing we are going to do is activate Exceed the Pendulum. Then we can add to our hand and summon the Astrograph Sorcerer. From the graveyard, sorry, because it's not on the extra deck, it's in the graveyard actually. And the Astrograph Sorcerer is the card that we can tribute because we need to tribute one spellcaster monster, Pendulum monster with 2/5 original attack. We can tribute the Astrograph Sorcerer to summon our boss monster here. So on our opponent's turn, let's for example say we are going in the main phase to activate the Exceed the Pendulum to summon this one again from the graveyard here. This one can then search as follow-up in the form of, for example, Wings of Light. Then let's say we are activating our IP Masquerena because we need a bit of space for our trap to work. Then we go for a 3 material Appaloosa 1, 2, 3. And then we can also activate Soul of the Supreme Celestial King, banish 1 dragon of each type to make the King Z-Arc, which says that when this card is destroyed, where is it? Must be if this card is special summon, destroy all cards your opponent controls. If we have special summoned him with these materials, which we have. So what you have here is an Omni negate. You have 3 Appaloosa negates. You have another Omni negate. You could potentially also use your IP Masquerena to go into SP Little Knight, and then you have your entire board clear with the Supreme King Z-Arc. Now we are going to hop over into the deck list, and I will show you every card name by name that you can use or should use for this deck in order to play this very, very strong combo, if you can get it completely resolved, obviously. Alright, and here is the deck list. We have 1 Supreme King Gate 0, 3 Supreme King Dragon Darkworm, 3 Supreme King Dragon Lightworm, we have 2 Nibiru the Primal Being, the new Supreme King Gate Magician, 2 Performer Pulse, Skull Crowbat Joker, 2 Called By, 1 Crossout, 3 Imperm, 3 Maxi, 3 Ash, the Effect Valor, so we have a lot of non-engine space here. Keep that in mind. This is not the most cheapest deck in Master Duel, but if you want to play it, you definitely can, and it's a lot of fun. And we have a lot of non-engine space, which is always strong. We have 1 Astrograph Sorcerer, Odd Eyes Arc Pendulum Dragon, 3 Dragon Shrine, a very good starter, 3 Wings of Light, Foolish Burial, a Pot, and the Soul of the Supreme King, Celestial King. We have 1 Starving Venom Fusion Dragon, 1 Supreme King Z-Arc, 1 Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon, 1 Exceed the Pendulum, 1 Heavy Metal Force Electromite, 1 Beyond the Pendulum, 1 IP Masquerena, SP Little Knight, Apollo USR, 1 Promethean Princess Bestower of Flames, 1 Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon, 1 Borrowed, 1 Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. We need to banish them for the boss monster here. This is our synchro basically, and then the Dark Rebellion XYZ Dragon, which is also for our synchro monster here. And then you have a free space that you can fill up with whatever you want. So this is the list. This is what you can take to the ladder and play very, very strong, but you will have to get used to the specific lines that this deck can play. Obviously, I've shown you the strongest line that you can achieve, but by seeing the strongest line, in my opinion, you are always basically able, if you have learned the entire line, to also figure out where to diverge from there, so where to take it. If you have different cards in your hand, you want to optimally start with your Dragon Shrine, because you can always send your normal monster here and then send the Dragon Darkworm basically also. This is also why we are playing Foolish Burial, to send our Dragon Darkworm to get the combo started basically, but you will get used to this, try it out, go play the full combo if you can, and then you will find your divergences from there. Let me know in the comments what you think of this deck, this combo list, deck list, and what I have potentially missed here. Thanks for being here. If you like my content, please consider subscribing, hitting the thumbs up and the notification bell, and we will see each other in the next one.